Hi everyone, I'm Mr. Crowelboer, or Mr. Seavey, and today we'll be talking about our connection to the land that we live on. And we'll first look at our perspective, and then we'll introduce two other perspectives to listen to. I will be closing the webcam this time so that my video doesn't obstruct the videos that we'll watch a little bit later in the slideshow. The first thing I'd like you to do is to consider answers to these two questions. And if you'd like to pause the video for about 30 seconds to 1 minute as you answer these, that might be appropriate. How do we use the land? And what sorts of activities do you enjoy doing outside? There are 3 images at the bottom just to get your mind started. Keeping in mind your answers to the previous questions, here are 2 more questions that are a little more relevant and important to answer. You may want to pause and take about 30 seconds to a minute to consider your answers to this question as well, or these 2 questions, sorry. Do you think we take care of the land and the earth? And how? This is our final slide, and in this slide, we'll be looking at some indigenous perspectives of the land, and I'd like you to be considering the answers that you gave with your perspectives of the land on the previous 2 slides. The first video we'll be watching is from a man named Billy Joe Laboucan. Before I start the video, I'd like to point out this map to the side shows where Billy Joe Laboucan is from. He's from Little Buffalo Lake, which is in central Alberta, just a little bit to the northwest.
I remember some of the stories that my grandfather and grandfathers, I should say, and grandmothers would tell us about the land, and the fact that we have to, protect it, right, and also give thanks. So everything that you take out of it, you have to put something back, right? This whole idea of reciprocity. You can't just keep taking and taking until there's nothing left, right? Like for example, so that's kind of a thing that's been practiced, for thousands of years, right? This land has always been looked after, in its to make it in this pristine condition, right? So 500 years ago, when you first had Columbus and a lot of the different people coming onto North America, they found a land that was beautiful, that was, that hadn't been tampered with, but they thought it was empty, but it wasn't. There was an estimated of about 13 to 50 million people here in North America, and they were looking after this land, right? They were making sure that, the evolution or the seasonal change of all the plants and the animals, was in balance.
The second video that we'll be looking at is from a man named Wilton Goodstriker. And similar to the first video, I'd like to, before I start the video, point out where Wilton Goodstriker is from. The Blood tribe was located in southern Alberta.
We learn at a very early age the coexistence that needs to be there in order to live in a healthy environment. We are given teachings with respect to water, the land, trees, etc. When we go look for berries, we know where to go. We know how to preserve and protect those areas that provide for our sustenance in terms of fishing, in terms of hunting. So anytime there's major development, say somebody wants to dig a huge gravel pit in some of our guarded areas, the elders are very quick to identify you're getting pretty close to an area that provides such and such a plant, or you're going to interfere with migration routes, this kind of thing. So I think the elders are very keen on keeping our developers on their toes and making sure that damage is not done unnecessarily.
As we finish up this slideshow, I'd like you to keep in mind your own perspective of the land, as well as the two Indigenous perspectives that we just watched. And I'd also like you to consider that there are many other perspectives of land as well. The closing question for you as we finish this is, how do these two perspectives, the two gentlemen from these perspectives, these videos, how do they suggest that we look after the land? Thank you for watching, and have a great day.